More than 200 people are believed to be dead after an Air India plane crashed just minutes after takeoff in Western India. A Mississauga dentist was among the passengers. Joining us now to talk about this crash is aviation analyst John Gradek. John, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, Melanie.
I don't want to speculate in any way, but given your expertise, let's talk first maybe about the aircraft itself. If people are not familiar, this Boeing Dreamliner, how many of these are in flight right now?
There's close to 1,200 that are being flown at any given point in time during the day. This is an aircraft that was first launched in 2010. The Air India airplane is 11 years old, so it was one of the first couple hundred of units. These are built in the U.S. They're powered by General Electric engines, and they are a very sophisticated airplane. A lot of advanced technology has been incorporated into this airplane. It's a very comfortable airplane for those of us that have flown the 787. It is, the name they give it, which is the Dreamliner, is probably very appropriate given the advanced technologies that are on board this airplane.
Again, we don't know a whole lot at this point, the investigation in the very early stages, but we do know that a Mayday call was made shortly after takeoff. Are there any indications in what you've seen with some of the video and some of the reports thus far where you can put together, any guesses as to what may be wrong?
Yeah, there's something that happened. Something definitely happened. It was not a clear takeoff and procedure. When you look at that aircraft prior to its impact, the wheels are still down, which is not a normal case for this type of aircraft. Usually the wheels are stowed within about 30 to 45 seconds of takeoff. The engines, there was no fire, there was no smoke, there was nothing on that aircraft in terms of takeoff configuration that would indicate that it was a problem. It was having a problem climbing. So the question would be, what were the electronics? What were the hydraulics on the airplane doing? Were the flaps extended? Were the engines getting full power? Those are questions that can only be answered when we have a look at the black boxes, both from the voice cockpit recorder as well as the avionics recorder on board the airplane.
This investigation is likely to take some time. As you mentioned, those recorders, the black box, all of these to be gathered and then to be basically taken apart when it comes to this investigation to look at what has happened. How long do you assume this process could take?
Well, the world is hanging around waiting for somebody to basically clear the aircraft from a design or production issue. So, everybody that's flying these airplanes, including Air Canada and WestJet, are sitting back and getting, worried about how quickly are we going to know whether the aircraft that we fly is cleared for operations. And that will be done fairly quickly. The black boxes on this airplane are easily identifiable. They are capable of being, going into severe shock and fire. So we know where those boxes are situated on the airplane. So retrieving those boxes should not, I repeat, should not take time. The information hopefully is on the airplane that the boxes were working. That's another element of the issue. But if the boxes were working, they find it pretty quickly. They will be able to take that information and interpret the information within about 48 hours. So we'll know within the next 2 or 3 days, is this a problem with the aircraft, or is it a problem with the Air India operating procedures, or is it a problem in the cockpit of this aircraft? So those are the three big questions we have to get answered, and we'll get answers to those questions pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is very much a developing story, John, and in the hours, days, weeks to come, hopefully there will be some answers, especially for the families of those who have been presumed dead or those who've been lost in this really unfortunate crash. John Gradek, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for this.
My pleasure, Melanie. Have a great day.
You too.